All right, everybody. If anybody's out there listening, if you can hear me, if you can't hear me, that's okay. We have Southern Methodist University coming in town tonight. Yes, it's the second time we've played them in under probably a month, and they're in the ACC. So an ACC game tipping off at 9 p.m. JPJ. I may end up doing this thing by myself. I'm trying to remember the details of the first game. All I remember is we were up pretty big very early, very in control, great first half. And then the second half, they started fouling Isaac McNeely. What's up, Jen? And, things kind of started going awry, and they kind of blitzed us, and that's how it went. We got Josh in the house.
Dougie, can you hear me?
You remember more about the game than I do and about this team, but 9 p.m. tip-off. Let's go, Joshua.
Doug, you got me?
We can't hear you, Josh. It might not be.
I got you now.
Not yet. Keep coming. So we might just take questions tonight.
Can you hear me?
Can somebody confirm that you can at least hear me? Because I can't hear Josh.
I can hear you now.
Josh, go to settings. All right, cool. All right, you can hear me. Let's just send questions in, and I'll fire away. I'm cheering for – I can't hear Josh. There's a reason for it. All right, Josh, I got you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes when you turn your sound off on your computer, you can't hear other people, and that's on me, not you.
All good.
All right, WFS Who, do we have a game today? I was just trying to watch YouTube, and y'all came on. WTF. What's WTF mean? I'm a grown man, not a young kid.
Means what the you can fill in the rest.
Yeah, what the Yeah, we do. But the real game's going to be, by the way, let's just give a quick shout out. January 25th, Notre Dame comes to town, and locker room access was going to be there in full force. So anybody that's around that wants to come to the game, don't be afraid to ask if you need help with tickets. Not that I can guarantee it, but I'll try my damnedest. But you got to come to the pregame and hang out and buy me a beer. That's the rules. I'll try. Take it away, Josh. What do you think about SMU coming in the second ACC game against the team, the inaugural, the first time they're in the conference?
Yeah, it's fairly big time. I mean, so far this year has not gone the way anyone wants it to. I mean, we can just be honest. It's been a pretty rough year so far. But this is a chance for them to play against a team that they did lose to earlier in the year, on their home court. They lost by 12 to SMU last month. And I think really this is a chance for them to try to, I won't say fully turn the season around because, again, it's kind of started to pile up on them. But it's a chance to really play for some pride and to try to get one back against a team they were pretty competitive with.
Yeah, it'll be different at home. And, SMU's coming from Dallas, I guess, wherever they're located. I forgot, Highland Park. And they'll be here. And, they were probably out in the corner last night. I think the teams usually stay close to the corner. It's probably hard with the students back for players not to get out and get involved a little.
Right.
Does that mean anything? I don't know. I would like us to start playing for ourselves and for Coach Sanchez and the rest of the staff and, go out and compete. And I think we win tonight, but that's for later.
Oh, yeah. Should be a good competitive game. I posted on Twitter, but if anybody's watching here hasn't seen, they've already put out the starting lineup, and Day-Day Ames is being reinserted into the lineup. He's going into the spot that's kind of rotated around. Tane has mostly played, the third guard spot to say. Right. Which, of course, we all know, with him on the court with Rhodey, it kind of alternates whose job is what. But if most probably remember last time they played SMU was when Day-Day rolled his ankle in the first quarter. I think he only played like 7 or 8 minutes in that game. Really changed the tone of the game, I thought, at least from, how they started out to how the game ended up going.
Yeah, it seemed the toughness maybe wasn't there the second half the way it seemed to be the first half, and we had that streak where we ran a few things for IMAC, and then SMU's adjustment. I don't see it as well as other people might see it, but they said that he was getting held.
Oh yeah.
I had at least 4 good friends sitting behind the Virginia bench at SMU, and they were saying it was ridiculous how much they were holding him and not letting him go. But that's neither here nor there. That happens in the game, right? We didn't have an adjustment or an answer for that, or something to do off of that. So, maybe we prepare for that and think about that tonight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something that happens, and honestly, I think IMAX since that has done a much better job of kind of forcing the issue to say. I think he's looked a lot more aggressive in trying to run when guys have held him, and it's led to a few calls here and there. It's not anything that's been like a real consistent, like, oh my gosh, every game this guy's just getting mugged. Teams play him tight because they know he's our best scorer and he's pretty elite when it comes to shooting. But I think he's done a lot better job of kind of exploding into a run and trying to get some calls. It's gone a little bit better, but you're right. They could have adjusted. They definitely could have put more emphasis on trying to get those calls. There was a lot of mistakes on their end too, not just SMU, getting away with the holds.
That's right. And it's you adjust. So you come with that approach. Let's get Isaac off. I think he hit 3 quick. Boom, boom, boom. 3 threes. So you have to understand the other team is chess. They're going to do something to combat that flurry, the mini avalanche. You have to have a counter. All right, guys, when they adjust to this, we're going to slip, Elijah, make it up, whoever the guy is, decoy IMAC a little bit, make them forget him for a minute and then go. But that's my one thing I would say about that game. We didn't have the answer to the answer, so to speak. But new game tonight. And as Bill Styron says, it's a great night to start a winning streak. That's right, because we're coming in town January 25th. What do we have tonight? And then one more game, 2 more. BC, I think.
Somewhere. So, this upcoming game, the next game after this, Saturday at noon, they play at Louisville. Another chance for a revenge game, maybe.
Yeah, tough one.
And then Tuesday night, they come back to Charlottesville to host Boston College before hosting Notre Dame the next Saturday, January 25th.
All right. And so Mark Jerome's not coming on tonight, but I would be remiss not to say that last night, me and Mark and Charlottesville legend and native Tyreek Turner went to the St. John's basketball game against Georgetown. And a lot of people remember that we all talked about, at least on Locker Room Access, whether it was real or not, Malik Mack, I believe, who was he's a Maryland kid, DMV, went to Harvard, and then he went to transfer portal, and he played for Georgetown. I liked watching him play. He didn't shoot it very well, but he's really quick and really fast, and maybe it would have been fun to see him in a UVA uniform or not, but that's just. And I was like 14 rows up, Josh, so I was way back. I couldn't really see. It's not my usual spot.
Oh man, yeah.
On the floor, so I was all out of sorts.
View from there.
But Mark, it was fun to hang out with Marky as always, talking about Ty. Ty's been sick a little bit. I'm not sure if I should say that or can say that, but that's why he didn't play the last couple of games. But obviously having a great year. Ooh, Kim, look at this.
Yeah, I've got it on in the background here. Dougie, that game you were at, it was a big dunk, wasn't it? Wasn't there like a Sports Center top 10 type play?
There was, and they said it would be, and was it? Yeah, the Georgetown kid, I think. Am I right?
Yeah, I saw the clip, but I don't know if it was actually in the top 10. I just, people are sharing the clip. It was pretty good. Yeah, I saw the big dunk. But I don't know about Mac in a UVA uniform. Something about he had a Maryland tattoo, right? Like, wasn't that the kid?
Oh, is he the guy? Is he the kid? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It was like on his forearm too. It was very like prominent. You'd notice it, I was like,
again, I was 14 rows up in the nosebleed, so I couldn't see those details in the game. He was fast.
But no, it's like I said, it's been tough. A lot of people have been kind of tuning. I don't want to say tuning out. Like, I don't think it's fair to say people aren't fully following, if that makes sense. Like these games, when we were talking about this earlier tonight, these games used to be such like a prime time thing. Like everybody wanted to go. It didn't matter they were playing at 9:00 tonight. 5 years ago, this was like the place to be. And it's
Yeah.
kind of rough now because in a way it almost feels like they're having trouble even giving tickets away. It's sad to see that type of thing happen.
Yeah, I
But I
think
mean, like you said, it's a spot. These guys, they can play for each other. They can play for coach. They can, they can rally around each other. It's a spot they can still try to get back.
that's right. And students are back in full force, I assume. Whether they're studying or not, they shouldn't be studying, in my opinion, yet. So hopefully they're looking for an outlet, something fun to do. Go to rugby, from 6 p.m. until now, and then show up there, however you showed up, and have a blast of the game, and then take it back afterwards.
Oh yeah, well 9
It's
p.m.
a Wednesday night in Charlottesville
right?
for what it's worth.
Yeah.
All right, we have a bench pressing contest going on over here.
Oh man, I cannot bench press. It's the one thing I was never very good at.
Oh boy, me either. By the way, I can do push-ups for days though.
Yeah,
They
see,
do
like
sell
Ken's
it on
saying there,
$5.
$5 couldn't get rid of them. I get that. I mean,
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but again, this team though, I mean, they can still rally to each other. I mean, at this point, it would take some type of a miracle run to really get anywhere. Like I kind of think, honestly, at this point, barring if they were to just go on a run and win the ACC tournament, they're not making the NCAA's. Hate to be like that this early into the season, but it's just kind of where they're at with what's happened. But I mean, there's still a lot for them to play for.
hold on. I'm just enjoying this. Fresh got any eligibility left. Josh, I'm only looking for NIL retroactive. That's what I need to come back. I'm just trying to find that where the NIL, the $2 billion lawsuit or whatever, divided by how many. Like it's not as if 2 billion's right, it's not a small number for everybody that played.
Well, that went pretty far back, right? Like I don't know.
I
I
have
mean,
no idea. Josh, I go so far back, it doesn't go that far back. If
no.
you can't find it on the internet anymore, it didn't happen, right?
Doug, you'd be surprised how far back some of that money goes. Honestly, I've heard some things on it, and I was surprised at how far back. Now, it wasn't any type of big money, but how far back those payments go, it's pretty far.
All right, let's find a lawyer in here. By the way, B Dragon and WFS2, get a room. We're doing Michelob Ultra. We're doing bench pressing. What's next, guys? What's next? You're gonna say you like Seinfeld, probably. All right. So what's the let's just do predictions early. Let everybody get about their night. Have your dessert or dinner. In my case, a couple beers. What do you think happens tonight? This is one of the hard ones. I don't know what Vegas is or the points or whatever. It might be the hardest game in recent UVA history to kind of gauge.
Yeah, so they have the game tonight. SMU's a 5.5-point favorite. The total, for points scored is 135.5. I think both of those are probably going to be a little off. I think they're going to be under that point scored by a fairly decent margin.
I would agree.
I think SMU might struggle a little bit, having to travel from Dallas to here for a 9:00 midweek game. It's cold and there's still ice on the ground from the snow/ice we got, over a week ago now. Like it's still just kind of rough weather here. Extremely cold with the wind tonight. The wind chill is making it really, really cold. So
they play indoors. Just for the record,
no,
Josh,
I know, but still, I mean that you go from sunny on the plane to you get off the airport and it's that cold. Like that's tough, especially in the winter with illnesses going around, everything else. I think they're going to struggle. I've got Virginia winning this one 62-57 is my score I'm going to go with.
Wait, what was it?
62-57.
Yeah, that's probably right. I'm going to go 62. I think it's going to be a 55-50 barn burner. I was told that SMU guys were out in the corner a little bit last night. They're loose. They warmed up. No, I'm going to change my 70-65 us tonight.
Oh,
it's going to be better than
70. Okay.
We were sick. We were sick on the West Coast. TW had a real treat that he got to see 2 games and be around the players and do some cool things he'll tell us about later. But I think we win whatever I just said, 70-65.
Yeah, that's right there at that over/under too, 135 total.
9 p.m. is good. I mean, because you know what? 9 p.m. means the players slept till 10 a.m. It's actually
Right.
better for SMU. They don't have to go to class. So they may have been able to sleep until 11 a.m., go to noon to breakfast, they go to a noon walkthrough or whatever. That's kind of good on the road when you have a late night game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering in this one, Dougie. I know you're a big fan of him. You think we finally see some real minutes from A-Rob tonight?
I don't have it's these things are all new to me. Rotations, who plays, who doesn't play. I mean, what's real minutes? 20 minutes?
Um,
Maybe.
I don't. Kind of looking over the minutes, he hasn't really played double digits a whole lot. So I'll set it
Yeah.
there. Let's say 12, just so it's more than 10. 12 minutes.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, I'd say 15. I hope so. I think we all hope so. I think Sharm has been the most interesting part for me. And
Mm-hmm.
I saw an excerpt about him and Agarwal from Stanford. They did a really nice piece on them. Two Indian dudes. One's from Dallas, pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
but Indian, and then Nishant. Sorry, I have a friend named Nishant who's Indian. Sharma's from Canada, and they were always saying it would never happen. I would have said it would never happen, and it did. And they both balled, man. So I'm surprised Sharma's not starting. I'm not sure in place of whom. I guess it's Day.
Yeah, Day-Day's back into the lineup in that spot. IMAC and
Hey,
Brody
Renee.
starting.
Renee, your cousin Tahad has been going off for Auburn, by the way. If anybody saw that, I'm kidding. I don't know if it's your cousin or not. Tahad he had a great windmill dunk out of Jersey City.
He's been
Elijah
kind of a big revelation, right? He's the reason JP Pegasus hasn't been playing very much.
Oh, it's not. There's no surprise. For me, it's zero surprise. Tahad's big time. So I don't know the details or whatever. I just know they're loaded. Auburn's a lot of fun. All right, I like this. I like this, Bob, my man, Mr. Sepchik out of Hackensack, NJ. Who breaks out tonight? Like, under the radar, not under the radar. What do you? So Hav always does. I'm doing my best, Hav. I'm not very good at it. Josh, who's the MVP, and how's it happen for Virginia?
So I think in this game there are two players I'm watching, and it's for reasons we've kind of already discussed. I think Day is going to have a pretty good game tonight. Not getting to play very much last time we played him, and I mean, you notice stuff like that. Like you notice how it felt like the offense kind of sludged up for a good while after he went down.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a while to adjust. So I think he comes out really swinging, being back in the starting lineup. And then, of course, I think IMAC will be ultimately the leading scorer, but maybe not the MVP, because I think he comes out with a little bit of a chip just from how that went. In the last game, he got in a rhythm.
Right.
There was the complaints about the holds. You could tell. I mean, he's not going to say anything. Sanchez isn't going to say anything. They're stand-up guys, but you could tell there was some frustration. Like we all, that's part of the game. So I think he's going to come out with a little bit of a chip too, and I think he's going to lead the team in scoring.
All right, I'm trying to go a different direction, but I think you're right here on both. I'm going to do the Havlicek and say TJ Power goes for 15 out of nowhere tonight. I'm Chris Havlicek. I've always tried to be Chris Havlicek. It's never gone well. I'm not nearly as funny. Hair's way worse, but I'm going to say that TJ Power somehow breaks out and has some semblance of a really good game.
That would be great. In a way, I really do feel for TJ. Just in that, fair or not, there was so much expectation for him coming in, and he's not really getting the chance to be essentially a first-year player. I mean, I know he did a year at Duke, but like he didn't see a lot of time. Like he's really getting his minutes on the court, and I just think there was so much on him compared to what a general first year would be expected to do.
Yeah, I'll have a talk with him when I'm down there next week if I meet him and talk about this whole Duke thing and how he could have come to Virginia, but he went to Duke, and it doesn't sit well with me. That's okay. It's a new world, Josh.
That's it. All of a sudden, you're rooting for your rivals. It's weird. We're all trying to adjust.
That's right.
Some adjust quicker than others, I guess.
All right, so I guess 9 p.m. We're turning on. What's the network we're on? Is it a real
ACC
one or no?
Network tonight. It's on TV tonight. Right. ACC Network.
I have it. Perfect. Let's go Hoos. Support us, guys. Support us, WFSU. Don't go watch your Netflix Dragon, WFSU Dragons watching Seinfeld probably. And let's watch the game, guys.
That's it. Tune in
Cool.
for the game and hopefully see you guys next week at the meetup.